Good evening, everyone. I thought I'd jump on here and do a really quick live. We did one yesterday where I shared my dad's secret about his turkeys. If you haven't seen that, definitely go and see it and sort of catch up with it for a moment. But I wanted to talk to you about embarrassment when this type of thing happens, okay? So if you are one of those people, just write like me in the comments, like whether you're watching on live or recording. If you're one of those people who find yourself saying, they're normally better than this, or they normally don't behave like this, or I don't normally have that problem. You know, like making some sort of excuse for the dog's behavior. Just give us a me, no judgment, no anything. Like literally, it happens to all. I can put my hands up. I've been that person. I can be that person. And I'm going to tell you a story about something with me now. So I've shared dad's, and I'll share a little bit with mine. I spent a lot of time after dad passed training on my own. And because I was training on my own, it meant that my dog got really used to me and him training on her own. And then one day I was training with a friend and they said to me, does the dog run in? And I was like, no. I was really pretty sure the dog didn't run in because the dog never ran in when I was training because it was just us. They threw the dummy and it hadn't left their hand 2 seconds. The dog was flying in after it. And they turned to me and sort of looked, and I suppose I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. I laughed it off, and we all do it. And if you are anything to do with gun dog training, you definitely, without doubt, need to have a sense of humour, okay? Because they will test it and they will test you. But it's really sometimes quite embarrassing and we get really upset about the situation. One of the things that I think you really need to know is every time something like this happens, it's not failure, it's feedback. So, like, remember that sentence, okay? Because it really, really helps me. It's not failure, it's feedback. And the feedback my dog was giving me was I needed to do more training where I was around other people. I needed to do more stuff in a group because I was spending so much time just me and the dog, or me and a couple of dogs. They just didn't expect this other person to be there. So I'm sure you've all been through situations like this where you've changed something in the environment. Somebody else has turned up, another dog has turned up, there's been a cow in a field, a horse has walked past, a motorbike's gone past, something, and the dog's gone, oh, and behave very differently to how they normally behave. And that, again, is just feedback. It's not you failing. It's you knowing or you recognizing, I need to spend more time doing this because my dog's not comfortable in that situation. It breaks our team dynamic because something outside of the environment is affecting what we've got going on right here between us. And we feel flustered when this happens, without a doubt, because we're a little bit like, it feels a little bit like school, doesn't it? When you're a little bit like, why did that just happen to me? You want the ground to open up and swallow you. When I shared the story yesterday about the turkeys, in the comments, some other people shared their times where themselves or somebody else had been in this situation where they had been embarrassed. And it's not always easier. So the good thing is, time heals and we can look back and hopefully laugh about them. But at the time it happens, we don't laugh about it. We feel really, really like upset about it. And sometimes we just want the situation to be over. We want to move on and go do something else completely different instead. Maybe give up gun dog training and take up sewing because literally the sewing machine isn't going to let us down, is it? The real magic around gun dog training is staying calm about it and staying kind to yourself and kind to your dog. There are going to be messes up. There are going to be times when the dog's overexcitement with the situation is going to make you look a little bit daft. But as group expert Samantha Thornycroft-Taylor says, I'm sure I'm going to be quoting her quite a bit, expect the unexpected. Know these things are coming and don't let them let you down. And think about why the dog went off track as well. It's not just the environment. Sometimes dogs go off track because of the pressure. Maybe they feel or sense something from you where they know that what you're expecting might be different to normal. They obviously are not putting a human emotion to it, but they can sense you are taking this situation far more seriously than you normally do. And in doing so, it can make them a little bit spooked. They're like, why is she like this? Why does she look so serious? Why is she not relaxed. And it's all those things that we send to our dogs as well. So next week we have got a webinar. It's a free webinar. It's open to everybody. We do these probably every couple of months, every 6 months, something like that. I don't know when we did the last one. Where we do our best to help as many people as we can. Obviously, we're in there every day helping our members. We absolutely adore them. I've just come off a live coaching session with a big group of them. But we want to make sure we always do something and give back to the whole community, not just our members, everybody else inside it. So it's next Friday, it's the 4th of April at 7 p.m. It is flat out training, okay? So don't think, oh, am I going to get any value if I turn up for this? It's my Friday night, I could be doing something else. You will get masses and masses of value. I would say bring a notebook, bring a load of paper, bring a pen, because you're going to want to write stuff down. The experts are incredible, and they are going to give you ways of recognizing and dealing with some of the overexcitement and changes we see in our dog when we change the environment, when we knowingly apply pressure to them. And also, something else that we'll have a little look at is also about imposter syndrome, how we feel sometimes like we're not good enough, and our dogs can read that too, and they don't understand why we are not in the right place and environment. So maybe the environment hasn't physically changed. Maybe you're in the same field training and it's actually you that's off a little bit. You've just changed the environment by the changing your behavior. So the dog's like, well, we do this all the time. So, why is she looking like that? What is that about? Or why is she looking a little bit shifty, moving a little bit differently? All those things have a dramatic impact in how our dog responds to us. So when we talk about next week's webinar, Trained but Testing Me, we've all been there. We are all there to help one another out. Let's stop whispering apologies to ourselves and to whoever's around us going, my dog's not normally like this. Normally I could do anything with them, or I'm awful sorry they did that. Yes, I'll get them to put the duck back. Just taking it over the edge a little bit there. But you know what I mean. We are going to help you to get to a point where you can just say, I've got this. I know what's going on and I know how to fix this, because that sense of empowerment is going to be far more helpful to you going forward after next Friday, where you're like, okay, even if this does happen, I know exactly what to do, how to fix it. So I hope you've enjoyed our little live this evening. Please pop some likes or comments, pop something in there, share your thoughts, share when you've been the one going, my dog doesn't normally do this. I'd love to read your stories. I enjoyed reading the ones yesterday. And I shall speak to you all very soon, and good night.